Hello, precious treasures. Welcome to the Possibility Partners TV show. I'm your host, Ande Lyons, and I'm so thrilled you've joined me today for another episode where we're interviewing an entrepreneurial adventurer, sharing her amazing advice and tips and inspiration and information to help us keep our businesses thriving and humming along. You know, I'm all about bringing you Andelicious advice for entrepreneurial adventurers because, hey, this adventure that we're on, it's not easy. It takes a lot of courage and willingness and tenacity and perseverance to get up every day. So I'm here to help you keep the spirit alive, the adventure alive, by bringing you wonderful, seasoned, and experienced entrepreneurs who will share their fears and their doubts, their oh no's and their woohoos. And please know that I admire all of you and am cheering you all on for getting up every day and pursuing your dreams in spite of times when your family members and friends are looking at you going, hey, you know, why don't you get a job, a nice steady job? And of course, that's just not what we do. We're entrepreneurs, right? But today I am turning to one of my favorite people, you know, and I jumped into Google Plus back in October of 2012. This incredible woman was hanging out, doing amazing things, and I loved her immediately. She's called she's a Google Plus expert for sure, especially on Hangouts, but I love her name, which is the Google Plus go-to gal. Please, everyone, say hello and give a big welcome to Yifat Cohen.
Hey, Ande.
Hey,
Hey,
Yifat.
everyone.
It looks like you're coming from the newsroom somewhere in Austin. What's going on?
Yeah, today live from Austin, Texas. This is the Daily Show, the Andy Show. This is the Andy Show.
There we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I tell you, I've got the largest crowd turning out today because you are so loved here on Google Plus everywhere. So thank you for giving the Possibility Partners TV show such a lovely lift.
Thank you, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you get everything from here, and I really look forward to seeing you in the green room afterwards. That'll be fun.
Well, I'm so thrilled you're here to share your entrepreneurial story because that's how we learn. We learn from how other entrepreneurs have started and what were some of the good news and the tough things that you've been through. So we're grateful for you to share that information with us as well as your relational marketing information because, wow, transactional is like buy the product, see you later.
Exactly.
And here on Google Plus, we are all about building the relationships, right?
Exactly.
Yay, yay, yay.
Yeah.
So tell me, how long have you been an entrepreneur, or as I call it, how long have you been unemployable? and what also brought you to this adventure in life? What compelled you? What was the catalyst?
You know, I think I think I was born an entrepreneur. Didn't know it. My resume is like this long. So I've done everything from bartending to journalism to producing a newspaper to what did I do? I was a bartender. I don't know. I don't drink. I don't know nothing about drinks and mixes or anything. And I was a bartender, and someone came to me and said, can you make me a Bloody Mary? And I said, sure, what's in it? So, I get into a job and then I figure it out and then I learn it and then I quit and I go to something else. So I think that's the entrepreneurial thing.
And so you saw that in yourself early on, right? You saw those ingredients there going, hey, I don't need to know how to do that. I know I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually tell my my 5-year-olds now because he comes to me and he goes like, you don't know everything. And I said, that's totally fine, but I know how to find the answers. And really, right? Like, this is where the world is going. We don't need to retain any more information. We have the entire encyclopedia in our palm, right? Everywhere we go, there's connection and everything. And so now it's more applicable than memorable, right? Instead of remembering encyclopedia, it's like, okay, what do you do with the information? And that's, I think, what I really love.
Well, now you're leading to what I'm very curious about because technology is not filled with women so much anymore, and it feels to me that this resonated with you as a platform. What was it about technology, information technology, and the pursuit of appiness
Happiness. You know, I don't know what it is. My husband keeps laughing at us that we don't, you know, like Israelis don't read the instructions. You get the box and then you try to figure out how to put it together. And when it doesn't work, then you go to the instructions. I think I grew up like that. But what's the thing? When I came here to the States 14 years ago, my first job was in tech support, doing tech support for computers and printers and all that stuff. And I knew nothing, like nothing. And I've learned on the job. And the way that my husband hit on me was that he got me a computer. And he taught me how to program. And he taught me how to do HTML in Notepad. And I remember, you know, like, oh my God, look, everything is moving.
Oh, excuse me, but that's lovely. That's real romance, guys. Take notes, okay? He knew how to make her heart go pitter-patter with a computer. I love that.
Right, yeah, figure out what she likes and then give it to her and then teach her. Yeah, and when I came here, I couldn't type. I was like this thing. And I love it. I think what I love about the internet is how the world is right there. And if you are doing something that other people are interested in, they'll find you. And so it was very hard for me all the time to be a salesperson and say, you need to buy this. It was much easier when people came to me and they said, hey, I want to buy it. And I found that happening online where I don't need to pursue people, right? They just come to you. And with Google Plus, Ande, I suck. I really suck at social media. I like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. I like, look at them. I suck. And Google
Hold on.
Plus.
Yes, she does, and that's okay. She's brilliant here on Google Plus.
Yeah, and you know why? It's because, like, look, you and I are connected. We speak the same language. And it's so much easier. There's nothing that I can say that will offend you, that you won't understand, that you'll get annoyed with me, that I have to think how I'm phrasing it, because we speak that same language. And I am surrounded by people who get my language. And so it's so much easier. It's like, wow, life is easy, because look, these people, they think the same. And so that's why I love Google+. It's just connecting our passions together and making everything so much more alive.
Absolutely. And I've got a few comments I'm going to share. Of course, Leela Martin says, your husband is a smart man. Yes, he is. And you're not just another pretty face, but you look gorgeous. And I love your set, says Barbara Sherry Rose. So thrilled to be able to watch you, one of my all-time favorite people on Google+. You are a gift to our world. Barbara, what a lovely thing to say. Thank you for sharing such deliciousness with our guest, Yifat Cohen. And I know I've got another little, because I love sharing the love. You know that. And here's Cheryl Deuce checking in, becoming such an Yifat Cohen fan.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Oh, so thank you, everybody, for sharing your good thoughts for Yifat. No matter how great and celebrity-like we get, the positive feedback, it really works, and it helps anybody out there. Right, Yifat?
It does. Oh, so can I share one of them?
Yes.
It's so awesome. So Richard is saying, can you see it?
Yeah, I do.
Notepad and HTML as a dating tool.
That is so funny. Thank you, Richard. That's great. Thank you, Richard. So here you are, a tech gal who entered Google Plus when it was really not even born, a newborn. What was that like, and what compelled you to join Google Plus?
I like to try things, and so I got the invitation, one of the first 100 people from Google, and I have no idea why they sent it to me. I got it in my email, and I went on, and because, think about it, like Google has an amazing way of releasing stuff into the world. They find the geeks, and then the geeks get to play with it, and then the geeks figure it out, and then they tell all their friends about that, and then their friends say, oh my God, I want that too. They did the same thing with Google Voice. I remember that it was Grand Central. And they did the same thing with Gmail, right? Like nobody got Gmail, and then everybody wanted Gmail. So the same thing with Google+. It's like, no, we're in beta, and how do I get an invitation? And how do I get in? And we were just testing and playing and figuring stuff out, and then Hangout came out. And we were, not comfortable on video at all. I was a black man. with a woman's voice. It was a camera software, where you can put like avatars on it. And we did very, private hangouts with people that we didn't know across the pond. I remember Ayob and I, the first hangout, we were like, oh my God, we're in video. And then I met a guy on Google Plus who wrote the book of how to market, how to get followers, all the tricks and schemes and all that stuff. And we started doing a show together, an entrepreneurial show. And then Hangouts came out, Hangouts on Air came out in beta. And, you had to be approved by Google, and they didn't release it to everybody. And so we asked the community, we said, hey, community, do you want to see our shows on Hangouts? If so, tell Google. And everybody commented, and then we got Hangouts on Air that same day before it was available to the public. And that's really the power of the community. If the community said, hey, we don't care about your show, we probably won't be one of the first ones.
Right. So how did you build your online presence here on Google Plus, and how did you know how to brand yourself on this platform? Because each platform, I'm on all of them. I'm not discriminatory at all, or discerning, obviously. I'm on all of them. How did you build your brand for this audience, for this platform?
It was not intentional. So I wish I had a magic bullet to say, I knew exactly what I want to be, and then I went and became it. When Google Plus sent me that message, I knew I'm going to become the G Plus go-to gal. It was in the stars.
There you go. That's it, though.
I did. It happened because what happened is I started playing with it, and then the first 3 years, people were just getting so tired of me. They're like, why is she on the panel with us? Nobody wants to hear about Google Plus. Shut up about Google Plus already. And I'm like, you don't get it, you don't get it. And so when finally it opened up and people understood, and they're like, oh, we've been hearing her, rant about this for 2 years. Now we know who to go to. And it's like now, 3 years later, people are sticking me out and saying, okay, how do I do this? Right? But before it was just like, shut the heck up already. Even now, when they introduce me, they're like, okay, careful, because if you're going to talk to her, she's going to suck you into Google+. That's the introduction. This is Yifat. She'll suck you into Google+. So it's, I think when you're passionate, and this is the thing about everything, if you're passionate about something, you will not shut up about it. And it will just attract the people who are searching for the same thing. So it's not really how do you brand yourself, it's really what do you love? What's your voice? What is it that you cannot shut up about?
Right. And as Seth Godin says, too, to bring in, it's not just love what you do, not just do what you love, but love what you do. So when you're bringing in that passion, and you'll probably notice that no matter how many times people told Yifat, shut up about the G+, would you? She was like, no, sorry, this is a really great thing. And persistence, tenacity, using the right voice, because one thing I know and love about Yifat is she's so generous, she's so open-hearted, and she is just a terrific relationship builder. But you're also an entrepreneur, and I'd love for you to share with the viewers some of the trials, some of the situations that have happened that have been hard for you, so that we can also learn how you overcame them and moved forward.
So what was hard for me is because this came so natural to me and so easy, I felt really bad charging people for basic stuff. And I was like, dude, the information is there. It's so easy. And what I forget very often still today is that what's easy to me is not easy for other people. So I didn't know how to monetize. And what happened is that I didn't have a vision. I didn't know how to set up the business, what I want to teach, what people need. And Google Plus is so big, right? Like, if you think about Google Plus, it's integrated with everything, with YouTube and search and docs and Hangouts and, the social side of it and your own email and like, it's everything. I'm like, where do you start? Like, how do you take someone through the path of figuring out what it is that you need to know? And so I was approached by one internet marketer. And to me, that was kind of like the shiny object. I was like, okay, great. He's already done it. He can show me how to do this. And what happened is I was taken along for the ride. I didn't have my own plan, and I trusted him to build a brand for both of us, and he built his own brand. So my biggest lesson from that is, guys, is like, if you don't have a plan for your own life, someone will have a plan for you. So have the plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And two things I want you all to hear what Yifat just talked about. One is that when you're really in alignment with what you do well, your sweet spot, you do it effortlessly. So you're like, what? That took me 2 seconds. I can't charge for that. But it would really take someone else a long time. And I know you're watching Margarita Gurry, and you always telling me that as well. And it's such great advice. So please hear that. And secondly, when you start your business, even when it's just a twinkle in your eye, you make sure you understand your brand promise. You own it, you live it, you feel it. The brand promise is your emotional connection with your client and customers. And that way, nobody can come in and take over your experience. And there really, at the end of the day, is no competition because you have clearly defined who you are as a brand. So I love that, Yifat. Now, do you have any daily practices that keep you inspired and getting up at every day? Because Lord knows there are some days we think, oh, forget the dream, let's go back to the day job. What do you have for advice?
You know, it's very interesting because, and this is going to sound like a cliche, and I'm sorry, guys, in advance. But when you love what you do, the days are not kind of like, it's kind of like, yeah. And that's my challenge. You know, my 5-year-old, yesterday we were driving back home from a friend, and he says, why do you put me in daycare? I love playing with you and stuff like that. Why do you keep putting me in daycare? And he's like, I just want to play with you. I can learn from you. Why do I have to go? And what was very difficult for me to say is like, look, I love my work, and I can't work when you're here because I want to be with you. So I need my time alone, and you cannot just be hanging around because then I won't get my work. But I love my work. It's not like I don't ever want to work and just be with you. And that's so difficult to say to a kid, right?
Right.
Like, look, I have other priorities. You're one of them. You're the top one. But there's still other things I want to do because you're going to grow up and you're going to move away. And I still need to have my passion.
Right. And I think it's wonderful role modeling, Ms. Yifat, to show your kids, wow, my mom, obviously, you're doing all the parenting, love, etc. But they need to learn to entertain themselves and have their own life, absolutely. But you're role modeling having passion, that you're solving problems for folks in a way that feeds your family and feeds your soul. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it's not very helpful, guys, but I think it's...
That is.
Yeah.
And let me just grab this from Sean Mahan. Good point, Yifat Cohen, around your early experiences at monetization and attaching value to your expertise in the early days. I bet a number of us went through that learning curve. Have a plan. Absolutely. And then here's Christopher Vogelman, whom we both have hurled with.
Yeah, that's true.
Someday it'll be a threesome, Christopher, just saying. So how much fun are we having with the amazing Yifat Cohen? If you haven't met this woman, please find her here on Google+, or go to her wonderful website, gplusgotogal.com. Her services are everywhere, and definitely subscribe to the Yifat Cohen YouTube channel. You've got to do that. Now, for those of you watching live, who I love and adore all of you, I will be grabbing the URL to the green room and popping it into the comment stream as soon as I hit end broadcast. So if you want to come in, do so. I mean, the cameras will be turned off as far as recording. It won't be live. And we have a wonderful impromptu conversation. I know Yifat and I would love, love, love to see you. So give that some thought. And now let's get back to the good stuff. Let's chat about relational marketing, okay, Yifat? Because this is something that is really, I mean, we all know transactional. Buy one, get one free, or get the super discount today and see you bye. We don't need to see you anymore. That's transactional marketing. Yep. Relational marketing means you want to see your client and customer again and again and again. It's building this wonderful relationship and bringing them back. So talk to us about that.
You know, I think it's the biggest difference between traffic and engagement. And the words that we've been hearing the entire time, if you're marketing on the internet, is how do I get traffic? Traffic, traffic, traffic and leads, traffic and leads, traffic and leads. And the problem with that is that if that's your model, it's always going to be traffic and leads, traffic and leads. The biggest difference, and what everybody is really understanding in business, is that it's harder to acquire a customer than to retain one, right? And we all benefit more from referrals. And so how do you get the referrals? is if you build the relationship with your client. And here's the thing. There's probably like 10, 20 other people who provide exactly the same service as you do. You might know a little bit more, but bottom line, it's the same. So you don't want to fight with people over price. And you don't want to just, have the price driven down so you're like, What it is that separates you from the crowd is you. And it's only the way that you think, the way you relate, the way you connect with people, the way you service them, the way you care. That's you. And if you are passionate about what you're doing, then it's not work. Then it's love. And it's really weird, but I think that I see our entire society moving towards more the feminine side of things, more the conversation, more the like hand holding, the caring. I do something that I don't think many people are doing, but in my membership site, I have a chat, like the same chat box that we're all chatting with each other, and I have a group chat with my members, which means that they can chat and ask me questions at any time. And it's not kind of like, I'm only open for business hours from 2 to 4, and if you want to pick my brain personally, that's going to be an additional, fee for the VIP club, blah, 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 blah. No, it's like I share my jokes with them. I share my struggles. When I mess up, I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, I messed up. Like today, I messed up. I messed up. And, I share pictures, we joke around, and then we have conversations, and it's more personal. So what happens is that you get the tactics and the information from the web, and then you come to me for the strategy and the brain picking. And you come for the community, because as part of the community chat, relationships are happening regardless of me, even though it's my membership. But the relationship, that's the fuel that keeps everybody together. So if you're not in a sprint, if you're in a marathon, think again, why is it that you are an internet marketer and not a baker? Why is it that you're here online? Or why are you training dogs, Leila? Or why are you doing games, Christopher? And why are you not a lawyer? And there is a passion, and there's a reason, and there's love there. And that is the thing that will make people want to work with you long term, so that your business is now eventually running on its own, less marketing costs, less refunds, less customer service, and more, referrals, more people finding you. So if you can change your mindset from, traffic to engagement, marketing to engagement, that's a win-win.
It absolutely is a win-win for you, the business owner, especially because you're meeting wonderful people. You're not meeting people who just like you. You're engaging with folks who love you. The other ones can all just go away. We don't need to worry. They can go happily on to someone else who resonates for them. We're not here to be best buddies with everybody. We're here to resonate with those who can resonate best with us and are in alignment and who we can really, really help. So I love this. Now, you've been watching this territory for a while. What about email lists? What about list building? I mean, there's always been so much pressure around that, and websites, etc. What are your thoughts on that, Yifat?
I think list building is very important, and I am getting better with mine. But the reason why it's so important more than social media is because this is the only thing that you own. Theoretically, you don't own anything. The server goes down, the list goes down, unless you have a backup somewhere. But in the grand scheme of things, the list is the only thing you own, and your website is the only thing you know. Facebook will change, Google Plus will change, YouTube might, take down your Hangouts. You have to own your assets, and this is the only asset that you really own. So mailing list is super important. I would really encourage you guys to use social media to drive traffic to your site and build your mailing list and stay in touch with them. But on the other side of it is and my biggest struggle is I share everything on Google Plus. So I'm already telling you this on Google Plus. Do I really need to send you an email? Yes, because some people are not on Google Plus, and some people don't read their Google Plus all the time. And the email is a way to just connect it differently. So definitely build your mailing list. And when you build your mailing list, it's not a marketing funnel. It's a conversation. It's to build a conversation and loyalty. Yes, you can sell, right? But if all you get from me is just sales speeches, you're just going to unsubscribe. So what's the point? Right?
Yeah, right. I agree 100%. And really, marketing is understanding what problem needs to be solved and finding those folks who need that help. I mean, it's really, there should be no sales, in my opinion. But let's talk about this wonderful hangout that you have perfected, and I've watched you for almost 2 years in just awe and wonder as you capture this platform and this way of building relationships and take it to a completely different level. And you've been with that wonderful, tenacious, I'll try anything, I'll figure this out way. Meaning it's been a journey watching you try this, try that, going over here, going over there. It doesn't hold you back. It's way, way cool how you do this. So let's talk more about Hangouts and why they're perfect for relational marketing.
So, wow, that's a good thing. So first, thank you. You brought up pictures from my past Hangouts that I'm like, oh my God. Guys, if you're watching that stuff, you know, the good news is we all improve with time. You too will improve.
Well, and remember, our hair, for most people, not me, but the hair changes too, which is so much fun. And not for you guys, I know, but for the gals.
Yeah, everything. I used to be with hats until I went Brazilian. So, yay, Brazilian. So with Hangouts, I see Hangouts taking the place of TV shows. And when I'm building my show right now, my long-term goal is really to build an audience that will watch me around the dinner table. Primetime TV, 8 p.m. Monday nights, 8 p.m. Central. And the reason why is because most of us are watching videos more than we watch TV. And even when we watch TV shows, we either watch them on Netflix or we watch them in our own time. It's very rare, right, that people are now putting time aside. I think the only one is Game of Thrones, where it's like, no, Sunday night, you know? It's a thing. But it's very rare. Most people are watching it on their own time. And even the Hangouts, we watch the replays on our own time. And many people even watch this, you know, twice as fast when they want to. So why would people tune in to watch your Hangout live, your show live, if they were not heard? If you're not talking to them, if you're not engaging with them, might as well watch it when it's convenient for them. So I see Hangouts moving into the TV, and instead of screaming at CNN like, oh, you stupid panelists, you now talking and, you know, face to face with the host, either in comments or really face to face with them, and you are part of the conversation. And so now I think Dan McDermott is the one with the political show, and Mike Elgin has Tweet with Tech. And I'm going to have my show with emerging futures and what's happening next and what should we do about this. And you're talking about businesses and possibilities. And Mia is all about, you know, fun and stuff. We are positioning ourselves as hosts in our niches. And eventually, as the audience, you'll have a place where you can choose. I love the way Ande, you know, talks about entrepreneurship. I don't relate with Joe Schmo and the way he does it in a monotone voice. So I'm just going to tune into Ande, and I know she cares about me and he cares about his brand. So the engagement and the conversation that's happening with the Hangouts, right? The engagement that happens with the Hangouts, that's going to build an active audience rather than passive viewing of TV. And that changes the entire dynamic, right? So
absolutely. And especially as a mom of two millennials, I can tell you, they don't even go to the movies anymore. They can watch anything from their handheld, their computer. It's all on demand for them.
Yeah, and we only go to the movies like for a special treat for my son, but he's young even, you know, it's like, he can't sit still. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's too hard. So, but the Hangouts, I mean, you started out with, what, like one or two people showing up and you started to build. How did that go? Because there's a lot of us out here trying to build our audience and create awareness. What's worked well for you?
Well, you have to remember that I've been doing this since the beginning. So I kind of have like a little disadvantage, like early adopters advantages. But the best way to build an audience is really spend the first 2 months finding the audience in the conversation, and then don't do your show, actually show up in other people's show or in the comments, and then find the like-minded people that you can then attract to your own hangout. So if you are the audience first and people get to know you and then you build a relationship, then they'll show up. Circloscope, an amazing tool to follow up with everyone who said yes to the event and commented on the event. So highly recommend that. Right. But it's, you know, Ande, it's like every relationship, you can't fake, I mean, guys can fake relationships, but in general.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, we fake other stuff. But you can't fake relationships, and people will know. So if you want to build relationships, you're going to have to put in the time to build the relationship. Right. And if you do that, you will have an audience, and that audience might start out with like 10, 15 people, and then as you know, you grow it, it'll grow.
I love that. And I'm a huge fan of consistency, everybody. One of my clients, I just said, keep showing up every Thursday for your taffy break, and you're going to build. People are going to remember. And also, you can turn these wonderful Hangouts into podcasts if it's easier for folks to listen to it on Stitcher or iTunes, whatever works. So share with everybody what's new in your world, what's going on with your business, how folks can work with you.
So great things. So first I have a vision. Thank you. And the vision is, I'm starting from scratch. The two shiny objects that I've followed turned to be shiny objects. So I'm completely starting from scratch, building my show, building my presence, building my mailing list, building my funnel, building my website. And I want to take 10 of you for the ride with me. So we're going to do everything together. As I'm building my stuff, I'll watch how you're building your stuff, and we're going to do that together in 6 months. So the people that I'm looking for is only 10 people that already know their audience, already have a business, already know who they're attracting, so that I can help them find a conversation and then monetize Hangouts. With sponsorship, with private Hangouts, with banners, with traffic. Same stuff that I'll do for myself, we'll do this together. So I will share a link with you guys if you're interested. There's a little form to fill up and let me know, tell me more about yourself. Aside of that though, we're looking for Hangout hosts. I will be training Hangouts hosts because we have demand for client to have amazing hosts just show up and host the Hangout for like 30 minutes. So I'll have a program where I'll be just teaching you interviewing skills and how to set up Hangouts and how to look great on camera. And then after you finish the program, if you're awesome, we have work for you. So that's a way to monetize Hangouts right away. So I'll be sharing about that. And then, of course, my membership club. I would love to have you guys join.
How do they join, Yifat?
In 30 days, no, hopefully this week we're going to finish the website, and I'll have a link for you guys to just G plus go to Gal, and I'll share a link with everyone in the comments who says they want to.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, definitely put up a high five for Yifat. You want to be part of anything that she's doing. And I will be sure to put the links into the comments and the details of the archive shows, Yifat. And everyone, how much did we love this wonderful woman? I know I said this earlier, I'm just going to say it again. She is so generous, she is so welcoming, and she is so helpful. She has 3 wonderful ways for you to make money using Hangouts, which is a very, very important relational marketing tool for all of our businesses. So I hope you take her up on that. And now I promised at least Oleg a big mwah from the room. Mwah! How about you? You got one for him too?
I do. I'm like, where's the effects? Wait. Effects. We did promise, Oleg, if you watched all the way to the end, you will be getting a kiss eventually.
Yes, you will. Vital, I just want to say hi to Christelle. Hi, thank you for the drive-by mwah, darling. She tuned in from her phone, but she could only do a quickie. Have you found your mwah yet?
Well, there's no kisses.
No, no kisses, so there you go. I am so grateful to everyone who tuned in today, especially, of course, my guest, Yifat Cohen from G+GoToGal.com. Please visit our website, subscribe to her YouTube channel, and follow this goddess everywhere she glows here on Google+. You'll absolutely love her. Those of you who tuned in live, stay tuned for the link to the green room. We'd love to see you for an impromptu conversation. I'm so grateful for the time everyone took, whether it's live or via the replay, to join us today and tune in and grab some of this wonderful advice. Shiny objects happen. It's part of the journey, and Yifat really shared some heartfelt, sincere events that happened to her as a learning, growing, entrepreneurial adventurer. Next week, I have the Positive Women Rock founder, Kelly Rudolph. That's September 9th, 1 p.m. EST. I hope you all can join me then. She's going to be sharing her wonderful ways and how to keep our state of mind positive no matter what, which we always need help with. We're not looking behind us. We're looking forward. We want to stay focused on our intention with our businesses. Thank you so much. And in the meantime, I'm sending you all my Andelicious best wishes. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Andelicious Advice, at Ande Lyons, and watch some of my Andelicious videos. You have lots to learn right there. And please say goodbye one more time to everyone. Dear Yifat.
Thank you guys, and thank you for the awesome comments. I join us in the hangout. It'll be fun.
Yeah, okay. So see you all soon. Bye.